My main purpose is to tell everyone that my son's blood will not be wasted for nothing. If we let Hamas continue to stay in Gaza Strip, actually we are doomed to death.
Welcome to another episode of the Caroline Glick Show. We're taping on Sunday and May 12th, and tomorrow, or beginning this evening, we're going to be marking Memorial Day for fallen Israeli soldiers, IDF soldiers, and victims of terrorism. And I thought that the proper thing to do is to speak to somebody who's going to be marking it for the first time in a very personal way. And I feel very lucky to have as my guest today on the Caroline Glick Show, Sarah Schwartz. Sarah is the mother of Sergeant Segev Schwartz, who was a soldier in the Nachal Infantry Brigade, and he was killed on October 7th in the fight for Sufa outpost along the Gaza envelope, which was overrun by Hamas terrorists early in the morning of October 7th. And so, first of all, thank you, Sarah, for coming and joining me today. I really appreciate having you here. You're from Beit Sha'an. You drove 2 hours to come to the studio, so I really appreciate you coming also for that.
Thank you for asking me to come over here, because I think that everyone in our country and all over the world should hear the story of my son and about our statements and our perceptions about what is going on in our country and our belief. And this is a chance to spread the truth all over the world.
So tell me about, where do you want to start? You want to start talking about your son, or why don't we start with October 7th, what happened to him, and then we can talk a little bit about, a lot about Segev.
Segev was born in Beit Sha'an. I have 4 kids. My oldest sister is married. She lives in Kibbutz Mesilot, so I have a grandson as well. He is my anchor at the moment.
Your daughter, Karin.
Yeah. I've got 2 sons, Dvir and Matan. Both of them serve in the army intelligence unit, 81. Both of them are officers and both of them are engineers. And Segev, who decided that he's going to be in a combat unit, is not going to join his brothers. And
although he had the option,
he had the options. First of all, he went to college in order to study to become a electric engineer. After a year, he decided that it's not for him, and he's going to join his friend, who are in the Nachal unit, and he's going to be a fighter. That was his wish. At the moment, I said, "What, Segev, are you serious? Why don't you join your brothers? It's safer." But he says, "No, Mom, it's not for me." So we took him to the Tiberias, where all the enlist
to the draft office.
Exactly. And then he started serving the army.
This was in 2021, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't easy for him, but still he made the effort to do or to cooperate whatever was asked from him. First, he was part of his service was in Hawara, in Judea and Samaria. And we were very, very worried about it. We always told him, once you finish, please phone us, let us know what is going on. And when he told us that he's going to go to Gaza Strip, my husband said, "Oh, it's better. There it's quieter. There is a fence. It's more organized, and I feel better when you go to the Gaza Strip,
The border.
the border." Yeah. And on Saturday, around 6:48, Segev sent a message to his friend in the valley and told them that they are shooting and it's a war at 6:48. At that time, they tried to launch missiles against the terrorists. They managed to do so. But then there was a glider at the top, and one of the surgeons, the officer, told them to run quickly to the dining room because it's a safer place. So they ran, but then Segev got a bullet in his left leg.
So they had landed, the terrorists were already in the base.
Yes. They got inside the dining room. They fought in the base itself because many terrorists managed to get inside. And there was a moment that all the soldiers decided that they should be in the dining room, and they were there at least for 7 hours till the Shayetet came over there to...
The naval commandos came.
Yeah. Then actually Segev lay there, and there was a moment that one of the terrorists managed to get inside the dining room. He threw a grenade, and my son didn't see it. The other soldier saw it. He moved, and then my son got it, and actually in that way he saved 30 soldiers. All his body was burned. And what these soldiers told me earlier, they said at the beginning he was very calm when he got the bullet. And he told us that it's frightening outside. There are many terrorists, and we should be very careful that we won't shoot each other. Call it the dudes. So I say to myself, wow, what a hero.
Yep.
He thinks about others instead of thinking about himself. This is my son, Segev, a happy person. Embraced friendship, loved everyone. He was the one, I told it also to the president of Israel, Herzog Bougie. I told him that my son managed to do things that the government and the policy didn't manage to do.
Like what?
He was the one we live in a valley. And in the valley, we have secular, non-secular, left, right, kibbutz, moshav, city, all kinds of people.
In the Beit Shean Valley.
In the Beit Shean Valley, Mayanot Valley, they call it now. And for his point of view, it doesn't matter what you believe or what you think. What matters is that you are a human being. So he managed to touch everyone with his happiness, with his smile, with his calm. He touched everyone. Even in the army, they told me that he was the glue of the group. And that's what I've heard also from the people in the valley. Can you believe it that some of them even made a tattoo?
Made it a what? A tattoo?
A tattoo on their body in order to remember Segev.
Where did he go to high school?
He went to Kibbutz Gaon HaYarden. But his friends were not only from our area, it was also from Israel Valley. And he studied there for 12 years. All his friends are not only from his school.
Not only religious.
Not only religious and non-religious. And wow, he spent many hours with his friends. When he came from the army, the first thing that he did, Mom, do I have the car? I said, yes, you can have it. And he drove to his friends. Yeah. They loved him like brother. Everyone told me that he was the one who taught them what it means to be a friend, a real friend.
How I know you've been doing a lot of things to memorialize him, and you brought some items here. Can you show us, first of all, some pictures of him?
Yeah, this is Segev.
A little bit higher. There you go.
Yeah, this is Segev.
What a good-looking guy.
A very good-looking guy. And as I said, everyone loved him, admired his personality, admired his point of view that everyone should be equal. You should love the person because of the person. Sometimes we are raised with all kinds of stereotypes and stigma and way of thinking about other people.
And he didn't have that.
He didn't have that. He managed, even if the person has it, he managed skillfully to dismantle it and talk to the person from heart to heart.
It's amazing. It's an amazing skill. And then you brought, because he brought so much joy to people, you also have wines, right?
I brought wines. First of all, his friends.
Can people buy these wines?
Yes, they can buy it. I can send the link. This is a white wine, and this is the red wine.
And the pictures of him.
Yeah, pictures and all the story what happened to Segev.
Amazing.
And also
for people who aren't drinkers.
Yeah, we have meat Segev.
Oh, this is the juice.
Yes, the juice. Meet Segev, and I would like to tell us a short story about it. One of his friends was...
It says, in memory of Sergeant Sekev Schwartz, who fell while serving on the 7th of October 2023.
In Sufa. It is called Meat Segev.
Segev juice.
Yes, Segev juice, because one of his friends was in Soroka. He was wounded.
In the hospital.
In the hospital, and he was subconscious.
Unconscious,
sorry.
Okay, let me just take these off so people can see your...
He was unconscious, and one thing that he said to his mother when he woke up, he said, I would like to have meat Segev.
Yeah?
That was the first thing that he...
That was like what they like to drink.
Yeah, exactly. Juice. Exactly. And his friends from the valley decided that they are going to build a viewpoint.
Oh, yeah, an outlook.
An outlook.
A scenic outlook.
Exactly. And they did a great job over there.
Really?
A great job.
Is it in Beit Sha'an or?
It's close to the Gilboa Mountain, Kibbutz Sufa.
Oh,
we used to hang around all the time in Kibbutz Sufa.
Okay.
Many mothers know him and love him, really.
I see. I first became aware of you, and the reason why I thought specifically, I really want to talk to Sarah about Segev, was because last week, working with the organization Ad HaNitzachon, Until Victory, which works with bereaved parents who want to work to ensure that we win this war, we win this very difficult, long war. You guys held a rally outside of the U.S. Embassy, or a protest outside of the U.S. Embassy, to speak out against the Biden administration's policies. And here I see they gave me these short clips. They're like 20 seconds long of you speaking there, and you spoke well. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you got there and what your message is?
I was asked to come as I said, first of all, I would like to talk about my son because my main purpose is to tell everyone that my son's blood will not be wasted for nothing. It's impossible. I'm not willing to sit behind or sit and see what is going on all over the world. I think that Biden administrations, they interfere. They usually interfere with our war all the time. You can see it all through the history.
Can I just interject here something not about Segev? I just want our viewers to know, our listeners to know, that 620 IDF soldiers have given their lives in this war from October 7th on. It's the largest number we've had in, whereas this almost as many as were killed in the Six-Day War. And it's enormous. But I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to give the sense of what we're going to be facing tomorrow at the military cemeteries and in this country to you. So
what I wanted to say is that I believe that not only Biden, Europe as well, all the Western people actually don't know what it is to live in the Middle East. They don't have any clue about their way of life, the culture, their belief of the Islam, and Hamas especially. What Hamas did to our country, it's not a war.
No.
It's a jihad. They are doing the jihad. It's not about a piece of land. No. It's a jihad to kill Jews because they are Jews.
Your family came from Iraq.
Yeah.
And in Iraq, you had the Farhud, which was
exactly
which was very similar in many ways to what happened on October 7th.
Exactly.
Were your family in Baghdad? What had happened? It was a massive pogrom that was actually incited by the Mufti of Jerusalem, the so-called founder of the Palestinian people, the inventor of the Palestinian people. And he went to Baghdad and he incited a pro-Nazi coup. And just as they were about to fall back under British rule, when the British had encircled Baghdad, on Shavuot, the festival of Shavuot, they enacted, was it a 3-day slaughter of Jews, something like that?
Exactly. My mother remembers that. And also my father. But both of them, when I was young, I always heard it, that they cannot be trusted because we are called, my father, what he used to say, Yehudi Nigus Meluchlach, a dirty Jew. And he told us that the Shia, the people from the Iranian, were the worst. So I think that my parents were among the Arabs for many years. They lived there. They know their mentality. They know their way of thinking. They know their culture. They know how they think, what to do. And we live in a democracy, but this democracy doesn't read the map. The map is different. It's not like in Europe. It's not like in the United States. What the people now in the United States, with all the demonstrations and the boycott and so on, it's also sort of a jihad. They are doing that in all kinds of areas, in economics, military, universities, education. So what? Are we waiting for them to control the world? This is the purpose. And we don't read the map. Also, Israel doesn't read the map. If we let Hamas continue to stay in Gaza Strip, actually, we are doomed to death. This is either the Jewish people will leave or the Arabs, the Hamas. And nobody understands that. Even Biden administration. I don't understand how come he sit with Qatar. Qatar is the country who actually funds all the universities. She gives all the money. And instead of being with the Sunni, They are going with the Shia, with the Iranian. They are Sunni as well. So how come, I don't understand. We had on October the 7th, what was the purpose? It wasn't just to fight against Israel. It's to eliminate Israel.
It was also to humiliate us.
Exactly. It's also Hezbollah. We had Iran, the Houthis from Syria, from Hamas, from Judea and Samaria.
From Iraq.
And from Iraq. All these countries. For years, we've been doing that. And I'm very, very disappointed that we didn't read the map. We didn't realize, and we gave them money. We supported them. We thought that if we leave, we give them money and educate them and let them live properly and support them financially, all these things, we will have a civilized person that would like to live in peace and continue living in peace. But it's not the case.
We were pretending that the people in Gaza who raped and pillaged and murdered and killed so sadistically the people that they got in their grips, that they wanted to be Westerners, that they wanted to be Jews, that they wanted to be Europeans, and they have absolutely no interest whatsoever in any of those things.
It's not only in Israel, it's also in Europe. Yep. You can see Sweden, Norway, France.
Did you see yesterday there were pictures in Amsterdam of Muslims in Amsterdam walking down the street, marching down the street, holding, literally, not joking, the flags of Al-Qaeda and Daesh, ISIS. Walking down the streets in Amsterdam holding these flags. It was stunning, and nobody's stepping them.
That I believe, also that when I see all the demonstrations in the United States and I don't see the police enforcement, and also in Europe, I think they are part of them. If you don't do anything against something which is evil, you are part of them.
Yeah, you're an accomplice.
You have to do something. It's not only talking. If you don't do, they will continue doing that. So
what do you think that has to happen in Gaza? If you were able to sit down with the prime minister, what would you tell Prime Minister Netanyahu? He's facing all this pressure from the left here and from the U.S. and Europe and threats and attacks and violent demonstrations throughout the world. What would you say to him?
As a leader?
Yeah, as a leader.
If he's a leader and he's a true leader, see the situation and he does whatever is best for Israel. And for Israel, it's best to eradicate the Hamas. We shouldn't have Hamas close to our borders or in Gaza Strip, also not in Lebanon, because they are waiting for us to be weak and then attack. That's what happened on October the 7th. They believed that we are weak, and we were weak in a way of the unity. And with all the letters of soldiers and pilots and so on.
Saying that they wouldn't serve.
Exactly. This is the situation. They read the map, and they decided to attack. And I think now we should not listen to United States, to Europe. We should do the job. We are the one who live in Israel. I'm the mother who sacrificed their son. Okay? And I want my son that it will not be wasted. It's not a board of chess that you can play. Each mother raises her kids, educates her kids. And our army, in all kinds of armies, it's not a voluntarily as in Israel. The people who serve in the army, IDF, they are highly educated, with high values, good people, and they don't get money for that. They serve because we want to survive. We want to live in our own country.
I don't think our soldiers even get minimum wage.
They don't. So if we do that, we cannot allow all kind of countries who live in the West to decide for us what is best for us. We live here. We know their mentality. Now they face their mentality in United States and in Europe. They gave them everything.
They give them everything.
They gave them everything. And look what happened in Israel. I don't understand why in Israel they talk about genocide.
Yeah.
What they did to us is a genocide. On the 7th of October, burning babies in front of their mothers, slaughtering, raping women, kids, boys, kidnapping babies. What is this? I mean, it's evil. It's not evil. So how can you support them? What, are you blind? Don't you read the history? Do you let the people manipulate your way of thinking? How come you follow them like herd? You don't think. People in Israel pay high price for that, for your ignorance. We need your support. We don't need people who are ignorant about the situation and don't know the history. They don't know.
You know, I mean, tomorrow is Yom HaZikaron, and it's always a hard day emotionally for people. But this year, it's it's Yom HaZikaron every day. Today we're burying 5 soldiers from
the same
unit from
Segev's unit, Nachal.
From Nachal, and
one of them is his friend, his Shalif.
Yes, Shalif is his friend.
Yeah.
Where is he from?
No, he's from Kibbutz Sufa. He was wounded. He wasn't.
Thank God.
And also, he's a commander, the Mempei Asaf Ezra. He was wounded as well. In that
the company commander.
Okay. So we cannot let the world decide for us. We can ask them for their support, ammunition, and so on, because you cannot continue living with this hypocrisy. You can't tell people, on one hand, to have a double standard. On one hand, I expect you to not to kill, but you did. You killed in Pakistan, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Did you also pick and choose what to bomb? No, you bombed. But in our case, you tell us what to do, and we sacrifice, in that case, our kids for that. And I can't believe that the people expect me or other mothers to sacrifice their son, and they don't think about our feelings. You know, from my point of view, I'm a destroyed mother. That's it. They destroyed my life. I will keep all my life thinking about my son, Segev, with the pain. They destroyed families all over Israel. Yep. And I have to tell you, tomorrow, both of my sons are not willing to go to the cemetery.
Why?
Because they don't want to believe that they lost their brother.
What are you going to do tomorrow? How are you going to mark the day? What's your family going to do?
2 of my sons will come. I believe they say, Mom, we will stay at home. We are not going to the cemetery. It's too much for us. I said, okay, I will go. I respect whatever you say. I'll go downstairs. Your father will read a Kaddish and we'll come back. And I believe at 4 o'clock, we all go to the viewpoint.
Mm-hmm. To the outlook.
Mm-hmm. Which was built in, it is called the Mitzpeh Segev.
The Segev outlook.
Yeah.
Outlook. I think that's it.
And we will sit with all his friends from the valley and talk about him. talk about his character, his kindness, his smile, his deeds, his aim in life to connect people. And we will see all the kids from all, they were not only from his age, even younger.
Yeah.
Younger than him.
Was he in a youth movement or?
No, he wasn't. He used to play basketball for years. And I believe in that way he managed to connect from all over the valley. Youngsters from all over the valley.
And, there's a big fight now that's brewing in the media about the chief of staff of the IDF came to Netanyahu and he told the media about it as well, that at the the security cabinet last week, he said, you didn't give us a diplomatic plan. There's no military solution. We need to know who's going to come in and take control over Gaza so that we can hand it off. Otherwise, we're going to have to keep fighting. And, I look at that and I think, what are you talking about? There is no diplomatic solution. There's only a military solution. We have to win. I mean, what are you talking about?
First of all, I don't think that the chief of staff should go to the media.
I agree with you about that.
First of all, because he's the one who is also responsible for my son's death. Okay? And about a diplomatic solution, we've been looking for diplomatic solutions since 1948 and even before that. Yeah. Don't you understand who are we dealing with? Don't you understand the mentality? I think that all of the people, the soldiers, everyone should learn the history of the Middle East and should learn about the Arabs and their mentality. And jihad. They should learn that. They should know that the main purpose, it's not a piece of land. It's the main purpose is that there won't be any Jew in the Middle East. This is the purpose. And if you don't understand that, we are in a big trouble.
We're in a big trouble.
Because you probably spread that to the media abroad and they believe what you say.
Because you're a general.
Because you are a general. But hey, don't you remember that on the 7th of October, many soldiers were killed because of your conception? Don't you understand that? What do you think? I raised my kids to love Israel. And how come you don't love us?
Is that how you feel?
I feel disappointed. I'm devastated from the situation. I cry day and night. I don't have day and night. I can't differentiate between day and night. I woke up and I think about Segev. And I think about the situation in Israel. And when I hear Utar lefirsum, I'm freaked out.
Right, permitted for publication, that means that they're going to tell us about another soldier who was just killed.
Yeah. And first of all, we have to destroy Hamas. This is the main purpose. Diplomatic solution, it shouldn't be I think I've heard Dr. Kedar podcast.
Mordechai Kedar, he was here on the show. He's fantastic.
Yeah. And he said that we should let them run Gaza Strip as the Emirates. Right. With families, Hamulot.
Right, with a tribal leaders.
That's what they know. That's how they live. And that's what we should respect.
I agree.
And Hamas should be eliminated from this place. Even the kids and the mothers, everyone there, from my point of view, they are not Palestinians. They are Hamas.
They certainly do a good job of proving that every day. And certainly on October 7th, they did.
If a terrorist phones his mother and tells her, I've just killed 10 Jews, and she says, she praises him, and she's happy about it, I don't understand. I mean, we are dealing not with human beings. I'm sorry, it's not human being.
Let me ask you a question. You sort of have to, round it out. You're going to meet tomorrow at 4 o'clock at the Outlook with Segev's friends. And you've been in this horrible situation of being a bereaved mother of a fallen IDF soldier now for 7 months. Have you learned, is that a word? I don't know, learned. How do you feel about Am Yisrael, about the people of Israel? What's the sensation that you get? And what is your message, not only to the Jews in Israel, but to the Jews around the world who are facing this jihad?
Let the majority be heard, not the minority. What we had before the 7th of October, it was horrible. The media joined the people who raised black flag and shouting.
A small minority.
A small minority. They used to go, with all the riots that they did, blocking roads and so on, humiliating the Israeli signals. I think Israel should be united and not let the other people's voice be heard. At that situation, we are at war, and we should be together, and we should support each other. Because even the person, the people around Gaza Strip who used to live there, they were the one who supported the Gaza citizens. They are the ones who took them to hospitals and gave them jobs and so on. They learned their lessons in that way, and I'm sorry for that. I feel sorry. But then I ask myself, how come people still believe that we should support the people in Gaza? How come? Don't you have any dignity? What do you think? My son's blood is for nothing?
What do you say the majority? So what do you think? The majority of Israelis agree with you.
I think we should be the one that our voice should be heard in the media. And Ad LaNitzachon?
Yeah, until victory, this organization.
They should lead. Because they are realistic. They see the thing as we should see. They are not blind.
I have to tell you, when we finish taping, I want to give you a big hug and maybe also get one from me because I know it's so hard. But I look at the data and I see people on the street, and I've been to the tent of the other bereaved families from the Heroism Forum, from Forum HaGvura, and I'd say the outpouring of love and support that people feel towards our soldiers and the families. And everybody has a son inside. Our son is in Refuah now. I think that we're the most courageous people on the face of the planet, and we just have to be allowed to do what we need to do. I don't think anybody wants anybody's life to have been given in vain, not our soldiers, not our civilians, not our children, not our parents, nobody. And I personally, I don't know, I do have faith in the people of Israel.
So do I.
Share that faith.
Yeah, of course.
Which is why we're fighting, because we're not alone.
We are not alone. And actually, all through these 7 months, I've been supported by all kinds of people from all over Israel.
Yeah.
They were nice. And there are all kinds of organizations who help you. We shouldn't give up. But also I think that in Rafah, they are waiting for us, the Nukhba.
They've had a long time to prepare for this.
Exactly. We are the one to be blamed for that. And in order to fight, I think we should do what Ariel Sharon did in Egypt. Army Ashlishi, he surrounded them. And then they surrendered.
I think right now it looks like we're surrounding Eastern Rafah anyway, in the north and in the south. We'll have to see what happens. I agree with you. The stakes are very high, and they've been waiting for us for a long time. Yeah, we have a lot of hard days ahead of us. Tomorrow's going to be a hard day.
Very hard day. It's the first time that it's that the world, people tell me, your son is gone. That's it. Face it. If I try to hide it in a way, not to think about it, tomorrow it's to see the tomb and realize that you are talking to a tomb.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Sarah. Sorry for your loss. And I share your sorrow. And I know we all do. And we are all going to work with you and together to make sure that your son's death is part of a renewal of our strength and of our lives and of our unity as a nation. And we'll persevere and move forward and always remember him and always thank him.
Look, he does it with his finger. Victory.
It's a demand.
It's a demand.
And we'll abide by it, I hope, God willing. All right, well, listen.
It's my turn to be a hero.
That's what he said, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you are a hero. And I appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys on the other side of these holidays. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Thank you.